Happy Australia Day. Hope you had a good day and you did lots of barbecue. That's the mitzvah of the day. If not, you saw the boats and the jet. Anyway, we continue with Parashat Mishpatim with this incredible verse that apparently the Midrash on this verse, on Mitzvah Tzedaka, Im kesef tzalveh et ami et ani imach, when you lend money to my people, to the poor person who is with you. And there's so many midrashim on this verse. It's just incredible to see how much the rabbis interpret this verse, because it's the mitzvah of tzedakah. The differences between the wealthy person and the poor person is something that happens in every generation. And so many interpretation. And now, until now, we realized or we understood that the ani imach, the poor person that is with you, we interpret that this is imach. If you give tzedakah, that obviously you are the real beneficiary. Now the Midrash takes it to a different place. So the ani imach, not the poor person that is with you, but rather with someone else. Davar acher, the Midrash says, et ani imach, lo imachahu ani ela imi. Is not with you, the poor person, but actually Hashem says, the poor person is with me, with God. V'chen amar David, King David says, Ki ata am ani toshia. When King David refers to the people of Israel, he calls them am ani, a destitute, a poor nation, right? And then the Midrash continues, En midotam shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu kemidat basar v'dam. The measures, the attributes of Hashem, of God, is obviously different than the attributes of basar v'dam, of a human being. Mishu ashir veyesh lo karov ani, a normal human being, if he is wealthy and he has a relative that is not so wealthy, even a destitute or poor person, eino modebo, he is always embarrassed by him, right? It doesn't tell the rest of the world that he has a relative that is not wealthy, right? Nitman mipanav, and when he sees him, he is embarrassed, so he walks away, so nobody can see them together. Or he refused, to be in touch. He doesn't want anybody to see him. Lefisha only because he's just a poor person. He could be a wonderful man, but because his bank account is pretty empty, the wealthy man step aside. And then Shlomo, King Solomon says, Kol achei rash sna'u. It's a verse in Proverbs. All the brothers of a destitute hates him, right? And then also his friend, the poor person has no friends. That's basically what the Midrash says. And also what happened to Job, Iyov, chadlu krovai. Because as you know, Iyov lost everything, and once he was, after that, Hashem rewarding, and he became a wealthy person again, but when he was destitute, he lost all his friends. But the opposite, imayashir, if someone is wealthy, everyone wants to be his friend, right? You want to be in touch, and you want to be close to a person who has all the wealth. Everyone wants to be in touch with him and love him. But the people who love, there's many lovers for a wealthy person. But this is for the normal person. But Hashem, Hashem is different. Mi emimo, who is with him, with God, and him, on the destitute, are actually closer to Hashem than any other person. So Hashem wants to be close to the ani, to the poor person. Also, we see that in Isaiah. It says, Hashem says, look, the heavens are my throne. And then after that, and now we look, I'm sitting, Hashem says, I'm sitting on the heavens, on the throne of the world. But who am I looking at? Who is I'm the most close to? To the ani, to the poor person. And then Moshe says to Israel, to the people of Israel, Lo merubchem chashak Hashem. Hashem doesn't love the people of Israel because they are great and they are big nation as opposed to the other nations in the world. But ki atem me'at mikol amim, because you are the least. You are actually destitute compared to other nations. So when you look at someone with a lot, of possessions and physical assets, yeah? And on a first glance, you want to be close to him. But actually, in deeper glance, Hashem is with those who have the least. And also, it's a matter of being humble. And then, כי ניחם השם עמו וענביו ירחם, הווי את אני עמך. אין אני עמך, אלא עמי. Don't say the destitute that is with you, but rather the destitute that is with me. God says, לכך נאמר, כי אתה עם אני תושיע. And then it says in Isaiah, you will save the poor nation. So, when we say that Am Israel is poor, it's actually not a... We used to say that if someone is poor, it's actually like a curse. But rather, when Hashem says that, it's a compliment. Because the poor person is a humble person. The poor person is actually the one who has the closest to God and is being looked after directly from Hashem.